Hey everyone, what's up? It's Raylo from KidneyPuncher.com here bringing you another first look review on a brand new device that we just picked up. This right here is the MGNT Atty by Shado Vapor. Check out this sleek little top airflow RDA. This is one heck of a cool device. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive down up close. We'll take this whole thing apart. I'll show you how everything works. And check out the magnets, the MGNTs. Kind of cool, right? All right, so let's go ahead and dive down up close, show you what's going on with all this. All right, be right back. All right, you guys, so here we are in up close mode with the new MGNT Atty by Shado Vapors. So let's go and take a look at this case that it comes in. You can see here on the bottom, made by Shado Vapor, established in 2015, MGNT Atomizer, made in Los Angeles, California, and it's also affiliated with the House of Poet. So let's go ahead and take this out of its casing here, nice metal case that they have it in, and take a look at what we have here. So as you can see, this is the MGNT Atty by Shado Vapors. Go ahead and get all up close in this and show you what it's made of. All right, so here we are all up close and personal. So let's go ahead and show you what makes this RDA so special. So it opens up just like so. You see that? See this right here? That little magnet, and right over here, that second little magnet, and right here, these two magnets, well, they all fit together nice and snug, so it makes it very easy when you want to re-drip your juice. Just kind of kick this over to the side and drip right down into your juice well. And then looking here at the top, you can see the airflow that's going in here. So these airflow slots right here, these very, very generous airflow slots, measure out to 3 millimeters by 11.5 millimeters on either side, so you get a whole bunch of airflow coming out. And on the top cap here, on the bottom of the top cap, you can see this ring. Well, this ring right here is actually your airflow control. Let me show you this. So it turns ever so slightly, but just to make things easier, let me show you the way that I've been doing it. So when I add this on here, you can just twist it and it closes off your airflow just like so. And then if you want to open it back up, just twist it some more, and you have it completely wide open. So easy to use airflow control on the new MGNT Atty. Let's go ahead and take a look at the bottom here before we take this whole thing apart. And you can see MGNT Atomizer, it's a little worn, I've been using it a little bit. You have the American flag on one side, and looks like a magnet right here. Magnet on the other side, and it says by Shado Vapors. You also have a gold-plated 510 adjustable pin. So let's go ahead and take all this apart and show you what the inside looks like. Also, while I'm doing that, I forgot to show you, underneath all of this foam, you have yourself a toolkit, which comes with a little blue screwdriver for your grub screws, a couple extra grub screws, and a couple of O-rings right here. Okay, so here is the deck for the MGNT Atty. You can see here you have two milled out grooves on either side for your drip well, and that's a perfect place to add your wick, and you could generously drip plenty of liquid inside this juice well. Right here we have 4 millimeter posts, and one cool thing, if you could see here on the center post, is it's actually square on the bottom with a peak insulator, so you don't have to worry about this center post ever spinning on you, and your negatives are milled directly into the deck. And your post holes measure out to 2 millimeters each, so you have 2 millimeter post holes on each one of these. Then here on the side you have your 2 O-rings to seal everything off, and you have grub screws right here, and the grub screws utilize the screwdriver that comes with it. So you got your little blue screwdriver right in here. Makes it very easy to unscrew and screw your grub screws in and out to make connection. So that's it. There's your deck right there. All right, so let's go ahead and put this all back together, go back into regular mode, and talk about it. All right, you guys, so we're back. So now you got to see the up close, you got to see the inside, you got to see the cool top cap with the magnets, how it'll self-center itself just like that, just like that. So cool. You sit there and play with magnets all day. So let's go over some of the details and the features that this comes with. So on top of the self-centering magnetic top cap, you have the top adjustable airflow, which I showed you by just twisting it ever so slightly. Can be a little troublesome because the magnets aren't necessarily massively strong, so be careful with that. And you can just easily adjust your airflow. Let's see what else we got here. Of course, since it's top airflow, you don't have to worry so much about leaking or flooding. You would have to put a whole lot of juice in this to really get it to flood or fill it and tip it. But since you don't have any holes all the way around here, other than the two right here at the top, you don't have to worry about leaking. It has the 3-post deck with the gold-plated center positive pin at the bottom, your 510, and it also comes with that square post that fits right in, so you don't have to worry about this thing ever spinning on you. Again, with the negatives milled right into the deck. You have the peak insulator, which is always a plus. It's a 22 millimeter stainless steel device. The airflow holes are 3 millimeters by 11.5 millimeters. Let me go ahead and measure out what this is right here, so that way we know how much airflow we're actually getting here at the top. So these slots here measured out, as you can see, to 1.13 by just shy of 14 millimeters. So that's how big these slots are here at the top when they're completely wide open. And your drip tip, this little sucker right here, this drip tip comes out to 10.5 millimeters. So you get a nice wide bore drip tip that just pops right on top here, makes it super easy to fill. Normally what I do is I'll kick it over like that, take juice, probably time for me to re-drip anyway, and just fill it right up. And really, since you have the wide bore drip tip, you really don't even have to move that if you don't want to, but it's just kind of cool because it's magnets, you know? Magnets are fun to play with. And just pop that on. Let me go ahead and take a vape. So even though it doesn't seem like you're getting a whole ton of airflow because of the thinner slots here, let me open this up all the way. You're actually still getting plenty of airflow on this to work with some of your hotter builds out there. And flavor is actually really good on this. I am impressed. Been using this thing for the last week, and it's hard to put down. It's actually a really fun RDA to use. So let's talk price. So this right now is on our website, kidneypuncher.com, for $59.95, which is a great deal for an authentic device made by Shado Vapors. And like I showed you before, they are also affiliated with the House of Poet. We actually saw these at ECC this year and were really impressed with them and knew that we had to bring them and have them on sale for you guys to try out. So there you go. That's a first look review at the MGNT Atty by Shado Vapors. If you want, go ahead and stick around. We're going to go ahead and do a quick rebuild tutorial on this. If not, this is where we part ways. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you guys want to stick around, just hold tight and we'll be right back with the build tutorial. All right, you guys, so here we are in up close mode again for the build tutorial. As you can see here, I've unscrewed all of our grub screws, so that way we have plenty of room back here to insert our wire. So let's go ahead and get this started. All right, so first things first here, I did use, sorry, it's a little beat up, but I used Kidney Puncher's Nichrome 80 24 gauge for this build. And what we have here are 10 wrap on a 3 millimeter bit of Nichrome 80 in 24 gauge. All right, so the way you want to do this now is you take your top leg goes right in through your center, and the bottom leg goes through your outside, which is your negative. So I place it right around there, and since this bit has that area where it can catch it, I just kind of take it and manipulate it so that way it centers. Then I hold it in place and I tighten down my negative. Nice and tight. Once I do that, I'll push it again just to make sure we're nice and centered. As you can see, it is now centered both side to side and back and forth. So we got a perfectly centered coil. Push up the leads just like so that way they are out of the way. And let's go ahead and install our second coil. Okay, so we got our second coil here, and just like before, top leg goes right in through the center. Bottom leg goes into my negative. Get it where we want it to be, and then just push it over. Just like so. And we double check to see this leg's a little funky, but we can always mess with it. But we got them both fairly centered, and we'll tighten down our positive now. All right, so there we go. Everything is nice and tight. Let's go ahead and get these leads clipped off and center our coils. Okay, now that we got our coils all nice and centered where we want them, let's go ahead and do some pulse firing here. Make sure everything, see that hot leg right there or over there? And if you're continuously getting these hot legs, another little trick to do is just sort of rake your coils a little bit. See how that worked? It's like magic. And then we kind of compress them down, hold them nice and tight with our ceramic tweezers. And I think that looks pretty darn good. Let's see if they fire nice and even now. Not quite there yet. There we go. Nice and even. So let's go ahead and get our wick ready and show you how to wick this. All right, so I pre-cut my wicks here. I'm using some Cogendo cotton, and I cut myself about a 1/2 inch strip and then give myself a little angled cut because this makes it a little bit easier for me to install it. So take that, we twist this end just like that, insert it right into the coil. And it's going to give us a little bit of resistance here because it's a fairly thick piece of cotton, but you want that. You want a thicker wick inside your coil. All right, then just kind of go back and forth a few times and your wick is in. Let me go ahead and put the second one in. All right, so now our cotton has been installed. We definitely don't need it to be this long, so let's go ahead and cut our wicks down just like so. Probably take a little bit more off on this side. All right, we got all this cotton spread out everywhere. Let's go ahead and take our tweezers here. Take your cotton and just sort of stuff it down into that juice channel. But, and a very important but here is make sure when you're putting your cotton down in here that you're not completely covering the airspace around your coil. You just need your cotton to touch the base of this deck. So let me show you real quick what I'm talking about. So you see right in here, I make sure that there's no cotton underneath my coil, so that way I get airflow circulating all the way around the coil and not just the top and the front portion of it. So there you go, you guys. That is the build tutorial. Let me go ahead and put some juice on this. All right, there we go. Give it a quick test fire here. All right, and we have vapor. All right, you guys, so there you go. You got to see the build tutorial all done. Again, this was with 10 wraps around a 3mm bit of 24 gauge kidney puncher nichrome 80. So you just take your top cap, pop it right on there, and have yourself a vape. All right, you guys, so thank you so much for sticking around and watching the first look review, up close mode, and now the build tutorial. So I hope this helps you out, and I hope you guys enjoy the MGNT Atty by Shado Vapors. Vape on.